This is Opposite Attraction, Season 4, Episode 4. A salute to all nations, but mostly California.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, keep your arms, legs, feet, and everything else inside the vehicle at all times, because this here is Opposite Attractions. I am your host for the evening, Scottye Moore, joined as always by the littlest mouseketeer, Jim Murphy.
Why? Because we like you.
M-I-C! And I'm sorry that we had to go a little bit late today, Jim. I did buy WWE 2K19, and it's all I've been doing today. There was a moment where I just kept talking to my Amazon Echo, like, okay, just set a timer for like 15 minutes, and then I'll have 30 minutes to create the show. Well, hold on, I gotta make sure that my character looks perfect. Okay, give me a 15. I can write it in 15 minutes, and then I looked over at my clock, and it was like not 8:05, and I went, oh shit. So if my attraction this week seems a little lackluster, I'm surprised that there's not copious wrestling things going on in it as well.
There's not?
Oh yeah, no, there's not a bunch of wrestling talk. I wish there was. Like, I could just base it off some SoCal, some pro wrestling gorilla shit, but no, I had to ease back. But before we get into the show, we must spread the good word. The good news, if you will. And it's
Jesus.
Of Jesus. Well, it's not a virgin birth, but there is a birth coming. Because your boy having a baby. And I think that's the first time anyone's ever used the words "chaboy" and having a baby. This is what the millennial era comes to. This is where people are just tweeting out like the 100 symbol and then just like, fuck yeah, baby time, what up? But yeah, I found out a few weeks ago, and one of my first thoughts, I swear to God, was, this better not fuck up her Disney trip. This better not. I swear to God. I was like, so I immediately Googled and found an article that said like, yeah, first trimester, that's the best time to go, like, get on flights. And I'm like, see, look at it. She's like, I'm gonna be vomiting the whole time.
I pretty much told my wife that if she were to get pregnant and we had a Disney trip coming up, that shit would be canceled 110%.
Just give your boy the tickets then, because apparently my girl is just ready. She's like, let's do it. And I was fine until I started to remember, oh wait, pregnant women can't ride the Jurassic Park ride. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, there are lots of signs.
It was
heart disease, back problems, baby carrying. Those are all bad.
The only thing I'm hoping is it might get us one of those special get to the front of the line cards. That's all I'm hoping, is that they'll be like, yeah, come on, go right to the front. I've heard you are chaboy, and we're going to get you to the front of the line.
You're the only pregnant lady in this entire theme park. Come to the front. Yes,
exactly. I am, and I know this is cheesy, but I am extremely excited to get the we're celebrating having a baby thing. Because anytime I get one, it's like, we're celebrating our first time here. Okay, yeah, cool, whatever, fuck it. Or we're celebrating. I've never had I'm celebrating for a reason so people can look at it and be like, hell yeah, dude. So I am pumped about that. Now, I was shocked, and I guess it's not that intense, but she can apparently ride Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm like, so we're just going to let her just bleh after that drop at the beginning then.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not
if you're early enough, I guess it's not really a big... I know that, and this might say something about me, but I'm pretty sure that while my mother was pregnant with me, she rode a log flume in Myrtle Beach.
Now, See, here's the main reason I'm excited.
I'm not sure. It was dark in there. I don't know what was happening, but...
Jim, that was your birth. It wasn't a lot. Like, you just kind of came out. Like, whoa!
I was quite early, but that's because I'm afraid of the dark.
Yeah. The thing that made her most mad is she can't ride any of the Harry Potter rides. And she's like, the one we rode wasn't that bad. I'm like, you mean the one that straps you into a floating couch and grabs you from a mystical arm?
J.K. Rowling is very anti-pregnant lady.
Yeah, she's like, that ride would shake the baby out of you. It'd be like, here it comes. So, yeah, but I'm still kind of shocked that she can ride pirates. But I did have one moment, and it was, hey, just so you know, I love you more than anything in the world, and I'm so excited to bring this life into the world, but I'm gonna ride Harry Potter without you. I just need you to know. It was that, Slinky Dog Dash, if I can get on it, and then also Avatar Flight of Passage. Any of those three, I'm immediately gonna be like, love you so much, babe. Bye.
They have a boat ride over there. Just go check that out for a while.
Just go look at that. The problem with Harry, the only Harry Potter ride she could ride would be the fucking train between parks, and that's it. Because one of them is the couch on an arm that kind of fucks you up for a while. Then there's the shitty kiddie coaster you can't ride. Then over on the other side, there's literally... yeah?
Isn't that closed?
No. Dueling Dragons closed.
Oh, okay.
And then they posted a picture of a fucking roller coaster in front of Harry Potter World, and someone was like, what? I didn't know this was gonna happen. I'm like, you mean literally everybody in the world knew this was gonna happen?
No, Universal... Was it... Maybe it wasn't... There was some, like, blog or a thing where that was like, is a roller coaster coming to Harry Potter Land? And it was the picture from Universal of the roller coaster. And it's like, I think you answered your question.
Yeah. So, yeah, other than the it got sad looking at Islands of Adventure, because we were scrolling down like Jurassic Park. Nope. King Kong? Maybe. Nope. Harry Potter? Nope. Roller coaster? Nope. This? Nope. Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. Yeah, no, we're not fucking riding that shit. That is their answer to Winnie the Pooh. That is the acid trip of a ride, is all that ride is. But yeah, we're excited, because I realized after this, I'm like, we can't go to Disney World for like 3 years after this. This is bullshit. I mean, I will, because I'm going to be taking, I hope you can hear the air quotes, audio listeners, business trips to Orlando for podcast conventions, and then also possibly she'll be like, I hope he's not too bored at these conventions. Looks down at Instagram, it's me in front of the fucking spaceship Earth with a cocktail in my hand, and she's like, that piece of actual human shit.
I mean, they do a lot of conventions at the Swan and Dolphin, so you could just be like, no, I'm heading over there. I swear.
That's all I'm doing. That's where the convention is. Oh,
I just had to go through France to get there.
There is literally like 3 podcast conventions happening in Orlando next year, and each one that I saw, it just made me happier and happier. I was like, yes, I have a reason to go. So Jim Murphy, this is a podcast about building our own theme park, and I have been kind of delaying getting to the main point because, like I said, 2K19 is coming to my life. And of course we are rocking in the free world with our theme park because it is all USA based. We've went to Alabama, we've went to New Jersey, but this week, Jim, it's California! Going straight to Cali, baby.
Which one? Do you have a California friend that's going to help you this time, too?
No, I unfortunately did not. I wasn't able to get Cali Steve on the show. Cali Steve was actually off surfing the waves. So it's just me, and Jim, I'd like to present to you my roller coaster. And it is called California Screamin'. And it's going... Wait, hold on. What? What do you mean it's fucking taken?
It's technically not.
Yeah, it's not anymore. Okay, fine. I'll come up with another one. Off the dome. It's a ride where I was thinking like California, Hollywood, you know. So why don't we put them in a limousine? And the limousine goes through, and you see all these cool animatronics of the celebrities like Drew Carey and Whoopi Goldberg, and they're what? What do you mean they did that too? Are you fucking kidding? Okay, so that one's out too.
It's technically maybe a better attraction than Fast and Furious Supercharged.
It actually, if at one point there was a Dwayne The Rock Johnson animatronic that just winked at you and talked about his dick, that's all you would need. But what I like was the other day you asked me, I think it was literally 2 days ago, like, hey, are you focusing on like the mountainous California or the beachy side? And I was like, you act like I know what I'm doing at this point. And not only that, when I think of California, I don't think beaches, I don't think mountains, I think the one thing they did better than Colorado, fucking weed. So that leads me to my ride idea, and it is of course called High and Dry, which is ironic because it is a log flume ride. And so the outside of it is shaped like
is it high and then a capital N and then dry?
Of course, we couldn't afford the A and D. Are you kidding me? The outside of it is kind of shaped like a typical... I had two ideas. One was like a typical weed dispensary, which is what I went with. The second was just a normal show building, but like instead of the rock and roller coaster guitar shooting across, it's a giant pot leaf. But I decided against that. And then you go inside, and it looks like first part looks like a weed dispensary, and then it almost looks like you walk into the back room. And I don't know why every ride I've done this season so far has the ability to buy stuff in the line, but you can buy a lot of Cheetos and Mountain Dew. Just shit tons of it as you walk through. And of course on all of the screens, you can watch unlimited episodes of Family Guy. So there are couches for you just to sit on and watch Family Guy if you want, and then get back into the line whenever you need to. And so you go through your line, and then you get to your loading area. And then, of course, I don't know who I'm going to get. I might just do some typical stoner guys. Like, because I want it to almost be in the same vein of oh shit, why can I not remember the name of it right now? The complete 90-degree horror roller coaster that's also my favorite. It's not Rock and Roller Coaster.
What, Rip Ride Rocket?
Yeah, Rip Ride Rocket. The pre-show for that is literally their best attempt at getting two 2000s era kind of tweens just being like, what's up, guys? Make sure you left all your stuff in your lockers, all right? Live it up, masa! And they start speaking like fake Spanish that's not real. So I almost like the idea of getting two fake cartoon stoners up there who are just like, what's up, man? I know you usually don't want to forget things after you smoke pot, but I'm hoping you forgot all your stuff back there because it's getting wet. And they're also smoking a lot of weed. And they're just like, it's totally legal. They can't get us, even though our theme park's like not even in California.
I'm thinking there could be a dry ice fog machine sort of an effect for like the entire queue.
Now see, that's an idea. The second
like a Horror Nights broke out.
No. That's close to my idea, which is the fact that we're going to hire 10 vapists just to get around and just vape up a storm. So as soon as you walk in, it's fog all the way, baby. And then, of course, if you have like asthma problems, there is a separate line you can go through. There's a smoking and vaping and non-vaping section. And then finally you get up to the line, and like before E.T., where they ask you your name and they give you a card, that way the ride will do something. Instead, this is like a nice souvenir you can take home where it's like a doctor, and he asks you, what's your problem? And then you could say glaucoma, anxiety, whatever you want. Just make some shit up. And they give you a weed card that actually works in the state of California. And then you get into your ride vehicle, which is shaped like a giant doobie. And you start to go on, and I want the ride almost to be like actually smoking weed, which of course I've never done, as I live in an illegal state of Alabama, so I've never done the sweet, sweet green. But I've been told it'd be like this. So you start off, and this is your sober area, and you kind of have just these small, It's a Small World-esque children singing a fucking song to you, and it's boring as all hell. And then you go through another room. What's that? That's the smell of Twinkies. Suddenly there's just, everything smells amazing. Like, I don't know how we would do this, but like the cart would shoot up fur so it suddenly feels better. It's very tactile. And then all of a sudden you hear wow, and you get this psychedelic Led Zeppelin remix of the It's a Small World song you were just listening to. And now all of the little small children from different countries are rocking the fuck out. There's some like vaping in a corner. There's there's 5 of them in one of those That 70s Shows weed circles. 2 of them are fucking in a corner. We're not even going to talk about them. It's insane. It's amazingly beautiful. Above you is like a laser light show, but also the fireworks at the end of Los Tres Caballeros. And then, of course, Jim, I have 2 ways of doing this, but I feel like... Okay, hold on. I think I can work both of them in. And then finally, you have the come down, the drop off of your high. And if you're high, that means you gotta get low. Whoosh! Fucking 70-foot log flume, sending you down to the Green River. The fur would have retracted at this point. I forgot to mention that. And then now you're just floating on this sea of fucking ecstasy as you get off your high. And you can still kind of smell whiffs of Twinkie in the background. So that's high and dry, where you will inevitably not end up dry by the end of it. But here's the problem. Well, okay, yes, go on. Question in the audience?
I was going to suggest at the gift shop you could just have a shirt that says, like, the devil's wettest.
The devil's wettest, yes, and then a small pot leaf underneath it. And Bowser playing guitar in the background. No, you know it's gonna be, because, like, Orlando has a ton of these kind of head shop places where they don't sell smoking stuff, but they do sell, like, a purple shirt with a fucking unicorn on the front of it. Or one where it's just a pug's face. Really big. That's all this is, and it's also a weed dispensary. We will be the first theme park that has a weed dispensary in it. But here's what I was gonna bring up, and it's the fact that not everyone reacts to weed the same way. Sometimes you have what they call a bad high. And it's usually like 1 out of 10 times or 1 out of every 10 cases. Which is why 1 out of every 10 times you ride this ride, it does jut off into a separate area entirely. Where it starts off the same with your happy-go-lucky Mexican children singing to you about love, and then all of a sudden their faces just start to melt and drip on the ground in front of you.
Holy crap.
And instead of the music turning rock and roll, it just gets really slow. And the ride stops at points, but you're not sure if it stopped or not. Since it's only 1 in every 10 boats, we can kind of fuck with them and send them back and forth.
Oh no.
And then finally, you shoot down into the Great Green... Oh, also, you smell, I don't know, sulfur? Does that sound good? Sulfur wouldn't be... You smell like sulfur, and you see these melting ethnic children's faces as it's just like, yeah, it's a small world. And you're like, did the boat stop? Has the boat stopped, guys? I think the boat has stopped. You look down, the water's not moving. I don't know how we're gonna get that effect. And then finally shoots you forward, and then you get the drop like everyone else. And then you go into the weed dispensary that also sells you shirts that have like a cat on it. So that's high and dry. I'm surprised myself I didn't include a Def Leppard song in it, but I did it. You can thank 2K19 Insanity for bringing this one to the table, Jimbo.
I have no further questions.
Okay. Also, you can buy more Doritos and Mountain Dew after the ride is over.
It's the worst quick service restaurant ever.
They're throwing Mountain Dew out at people and Doritos, and that's it, man. 70 to 90% of the time your order will come back wrong, but you won't care. It's like, I just need the food, man. That's it. Are you embarrassed to follow that up? You know you can't.
No, I'm not. I did, as I said to you the other day, go with more of a mountainy sort of a theme.
Yeah.
Because I did think you were gonna do like some weird beachy sort of thing. Apparently, I was wrong.
No, there is a beach at the end, and it's just called the Weed Pit, and it's a sandbox where you can just kind of go build shit for a few.
Well, my attraction is called the Sequoia Slalom.
Okay.
And it is a wild mouse roller coaster, slightly modified.
You're smoking weed the whole time.
The first way, fairly straightforward. The second way, I'm not sure is technically possible, but it probably could be. The average wild mouse is around 45 feet tall.
I just want to interrupt. I think you just gave us our official catchphrase for the show, which is, we're not sure this is technically possible, but it might be.
Yeah, so wild mouse roller coasters are around 45 to 50 feet tall. Sequoias, their average height is, let me look at my notes, around 200 feet.
Okay!
I'm not going to go that high, but the idea is essentially...
my ride did.
Yes. Yes, softball throw there. So, like, I mentioned to you before the show that I was trying to figure out the word carport.
Okay.
And what that thing was called, because essentially the show ride building isn't really enclosed. It does have a roof, but, like, the walls of it are open.
Okay.
And that's because basically what is holding up this roof is what looks like giant sequoia trees.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
So you walk up to this queue and it's literally like 60, 70 foot tall redwoods that are like, I mean, the top of the building is not like a redwood, like it's more short and fat, but it's like all leaves. It's like canopy of leaves.
It looks like it looks like the queue to Star Tours.
Yes, kind of like that, yes. So the idea is basically you get into what is essentially a wild mouse thing, but instead of sitting down, you are standing. This is the part I'm not sure is physically possible.
No!
But
Jim,
it's more like...
Did you ride my ride before you did this?
Listen, I think this is technically possible because... they make standing roller coasters.
Yes, and they've only broken 50 spines.
Well, you would essentially be in a standing position kind of like you were going to ride Mission Space.
Okay.
So you would have a shoulder harness, and it would be like 4 people in a row standing, and it would be like you would have a base ride vehicle underneath of you, but essentially what you would look like is that you were on top of a giant snowboard.
Okay, now I see where you're going.
So you go up the lift hill, and usually wild mouse rides start with like a back and forth at like the highest point where you basically go down. You're staying parallel to the ground, 45 feet up, and you just go back and forth, and you basically switch back a couple times. These switchbacks would be slightly larger. They wouldn't be like an immediate 180 because there would be more like redwood trees basically coming up through the middle.
Oh, okay. Of
the building, so you would go around them, and the idea would be that it would be like snowing, so there would be like snow effects, like cold air blasting and like fake snow, things like that.
And Elsa.
And it literally simply follows like the basic Wild Mouse thing of where you're like basically dodging underneath branches, things like that as you're going through, spinning around back and forth. And at the like the finale is pretty much that you go down and you go through like a cutout like that they do for like cars.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically like the finale is that.
So,
but it is in a open air building that it basically has a roof, but it's only basically to support for the sequoia trees.
I think we could combine our two rides, and the one out of every 10 times you have a bad trip is this fucking ride. Where you get on the ride vehicle, and every other time it looks like a normal ride vehicle. Yours looks like some weird standing bullshit, and they're like, don't know if I'm supposed to be on this like this. No, you are. You're supposed to be standing. Haven't you seen all these other people? I guess so.
And, I actually had the idea that, and while this isn't really a California thing, I thought that maybe at times you might see what you think is a Sasquatch. Okay.
I feel like this could work for many states, which then again mine could too. Mine could be this. We could easily retitle this episode the Colorado episode, and it still be pretty fucking accurate.
Well, I do hate to break it to you, but that was going to be the challenge for next week, was going to be the Centennial State of Colorado.
Well, Jim, start thinking again, because we've done a dual episode this week.
Technically, redwoods are fairly California based.
But is the Sasquatch? Is Mr. Sasquatch based there?
Technically, if you would look, there are maps of, like, essentially Bigfoot sightings, and it's literally like the entire United States.
Look, man, I've never seen Mr. Sasquatch in board shorts, so I mean, I don't know if he's in Cali.
I don't remember Harry and the Hendersons that well, but they might have put him in.
There's no way they didn't.
I did learn the other day that Universal Studios Florida, when they had a backstage tour, there was a possibility that you could meet Harry Henderson.
Yeah, that sounds like something they do.
They had a walk-around character of Harry Henderson that would, wave to your tram and, give you high fives.
Universal Studios is a lot like my ride this week. But in reverse. 1 out of every 10 times, it's a good high. And then the other 9 times, they're like, Fast and the Furious Supercharged. Let's meet Harry Henderson. Come on, guys. Let's remove Bill and Ted and put in breakdancing zombies. Okay, Universal, calm down, please. Oh, so do you want to change it from Colorado? Because I'll let you know, I'm going to go back to the weed farm if we do.
Let me think. My other idea was Montana, but I didn't really want to do that one because seems a little high on the difficulty curve.
Oh, you mean the state that anytime we play the Name the 50 States game, I forget every fucking time?
Well, I remember, when I was in elementary school, and, they kind of make you do a report on a state when you're in, 3rd grade. That was the state I got, was Montana. I remember nothing from it.
And you had the world's shortest... It's a fucking state. That's it. Thank you. This has been my presentation. My name is Jim Murphy.
How about we go... Let's see. We could go Wisconsin. I don't want to go back to, an area that we already did. You know what I mean?
Well, Montana is western-ish.
Yeah, it's northwestern-ish.
There's so many... Wow, at the beginning of this season, we're like, it's so fucking easy, just name a state. And then we're like, Montana. No, fuck Montana. Could do a Texas, a West Virginia. Those are the ones that are coming to mind for me.
Yeah, let's do Texas. We'll do Texas. I'll figure something out for Texas.
Awesome. And I don't know if I'll remember this, but the next challenge after this will probably be West Virginia. The spookiest state for our Halloween episode. So Jim.
Well, they did film. Wrong Turn there. So.
Oh yeah. So Jim, it's been an episode. We're going to good old Texas. Fuck. What? Where can they find you on the internet?
I am on Twitter at apparently smart, and not many other places right now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, and make sure to check out it would be this week's episode of A Load of BS, because it will be the return of Jim's fabled show, A Horrible Premise. So make sure to tune in to that, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find it, you can find it and all the other shows at aloadofpurebs.com, and you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo, SCOTTYEMO, and buy all my books on Amazon, the Queasel Corp Trilogy, BS versus the Gods, or if you would like to listen to them audibly, just go to audibletrial.com/BS Network, pick up a free 30-day trial of Audible, and you can get any of them completely for free. So it supports you, or supports us, you get something for free. It's a win-win. So get that, and remember to support us elsewhere on merch.aloadofpurebs.com or on our official Patreon, patreon.com/aloadofbs.
I don't want to cut you off, but should we explain to people what A Horrible Premise is, besides the idea of this show?
Yeah, essentially, Jim is a horrible human being and gives us a TV show idea, and we have to...
No, I give you a title of a TV show that is bad.
So...
Like Boat Murder. Boat Murder was good.
Boat Murder was, and of course, Yacht Kids.
Yacht Kids was technically similar.
Yeah, wow, we just had a very interesting, for those of you who don't watch us live on Twitch, firstly, you should. Secondly, our second comment of the night comes from a man named Pedro VIP, who just said, Radiohead, Creep, vocal cover, 2018, official 2080p full. So make sure to look that up, I guess. And
but yeah, I give people show titles that aren't real, and they pitch back shows that they think would fit the title as best they can, and it gets kind of weird.
Yeah, so that's going to be this week's episode of A Load of BS. So check that out. Check out all of our older seasons online at opposite-attractions.com. And then, of course, remember to find Jim and me on Twitter at OpAtShow. That's spelled OPPATTSHOW. Are you down with OPP?